Thanks for staying with us. 13 minutes past the hour. The UN Security Council set to receive the final draft of a Palestinian resolution calling for the end of Israel's occupation in the West Bank by the end of 2017. We're going to get views from both sides now. I'm joined by Israeli politician Einat Wilf and the Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative, Mustafa Barghouti. Thank you very much for joining us, both of you. So start with you, Ms. Wilf. So what is the take on the resolution being submitted by the Palestinians to the UN?
The resolution is completely imbalanced on all the issues that are difficult for Israel, such as addressing Israel's serious legitimate security concerns. We know exactly what kind of neighborhood Israel lives in. Now the world is becoming aware of it. None of this is addressed in the resolution. Issues such as those who are called Palestinian refugees but are actually descendants who have been born and lived all their lives in the West Bank and Gaza. What happens if the world says that they live in Palestine? Are the Palestinians willing to acknowledge that they are no longer refugees? These are difficult issues, and the proposition has nothing to say about them. But on issues where Israel has to give in, the resolution is very aggressive, very specific, sets clear terms, and leaves no room for negotiations. And ultimately, if Israel is the homeland of the Jewish people and Palestine as an Arab state are to live side by side as the United Nations envisioned, they are also expected to negotiate with each other and not find ways around it.
And to you, Mustafa, before we get into some of the specifics of the kind of the heart of the matter here, do you think the resolution will be passed at the world body?
There are two possibilities. One possibility is that the United States would come to reason and allow the resolution to be passed, in which case they will be contributing to the possibility of having peace finally here, or they will veto it. But this resolution is not imbalanced, and of course it's not going to be pleasant to the Israeli side, but this resolution is saying very clearly, and it is compatible with international law, that the Israeli illegal occupation of the Palestinian territories should end, and should end within a particular framework of time, and it allows for negotiations to implement such a resolution. But if Israel wants to continue occupation and wants to continue the establishment of a system of apartheid and racial discrimination against Palestinian people, then there will be no peace. And we cannot waste more time. We've wasted already 23 years of useless negotiations because Israel refused to implement even Oslo Agreement. What we see on the ground is Israeli unilateral actions, including settlement expansion, including annexation of the territories of the West Bank and East Jerusalem, including actions even against religious places like Al-Aqsa Mosque. And Israel is trying to win time and gain time just to impose of international law, which Israel refuses to abide by.
Right. So, Einat, Prime Minister Netanyahu has used some harsh rhetoric recently, slamming the EU's early decision to remove Hamas from a terrorist list, saying that Europe has learned nothing from the Holocaust. Do you think statements like that strengthen Israel's position or isolate the country?
What is clear is that the rest of the world seems to not appreciate the complexity of the situation on the ground. They seem not to appreciate what is at the core of the conflict. The Arab world and the Palestinians within them have been very successful in fooling the world into thinking that the conflict is about settlements, is about the West Bank and Gaza, but fundamentally the Arab world and the Palestinians among them reject the right of the Jewish people to sovereignty in their homeland. They reject the very fact that their Jewish people are at home. They are in their land by right, not by might. Peace will only come the day that the Arabs recognize that the Jewish people are indigenous to the land, they are home, they are part and parcel of the region, and that the reason we need to achieve peace by means of two states of two people is because there are two peoples who have a right to the land. This is something that the Arab world and the Palestinians have rejected for decades. And this is why they don't have a state.
I apologize for interrupting you, but in terms of this, you said that both people do have claims to the land. In terms of the settlements, though, the Israelis continue, certain hardliners among them continue building settlements in Palestinian property. Isn't that not respecting that both sides have claim to the land?
At the moment, there are also people on the Palestinian side who continue to claim that there are 5 million descendants, people who have never been displaced from their homes, who have something that they call a right of return, a demand to flood Israel with 5 million Arabs,
but you are
Israel
conducting the right of return for people who have not been in this country for hundreds of years, thousands of years.
Well,
you bring anybody from Brooklyn or from Russia, and you want them to replace the Palestinians who live here?
Not replace, never replace. The Jewish people are indigenous to the land of Israel.
You are replacing
There are
people.
2 peoples who hold this land dear.
But Mustafa, what makes you think that if Jews repatriate to Israel that they are necessarily going to move into Palestinian settlements?
Well, in my opinion, up until here what we face, you cannot equate between Palestinians and Israelis. I'm responding, Siri, to your question. You cannot equate between Palestinians and Israelis in this case because one side is occupying the other. One side is killing the other. During this year alone, 2014, the Israeli army have killed 2,326 Palestinians, including 580 children. They've destroyed 96,000 homes and houses in Gaza. They have injured 17,000 people. I live under occupation all my life. This is terrible. I was born in Jerusalem. I worked in Jerusalem as a medical doctor for 15 years, and they don't allow me to go to Jerusalem. By which right? By which right Israel prohibits me from visiting the city I was born in and where my sister lives? This is unacceptable.
Mustafa,
this is racism, and this is apartheid, and it's not good for Palestinians or Israelis.
I understand you. I appreciate your concerns there, but at the same time, Israel is still seeing attacks by Hamas, and doesn't it have a right to defend itself against those attacks?
Both people have the right to defend themselves, yes. But in the case of Hamas, Hamas was abiding completely by the ceasefire. It was Israel that violated it. It violated it in Hebron, it violated it in Jerusalem, it violated it in Gaza. And if Israel did not attack Gaza, we would not have had a war. Because there was a ceasefire that is respected. Today there is a ceasefire. Palestinian side is respecting it, but Israel is violating it constantly and every day, including shooting fishermen. By which right Israel prevents fishermen just from fishing in the sea to get some meat for their children? By which right they control the airspace of Gaza and all the borders of Gaza and prevent even the reconstruction of what they have destroyed. It's injustice.
Einat, do you have any response to that?
Continue. It's not good for the Israelis or Palestinians to continue this.
Einat, do you have a response to that?
If promise that I will not be interrupted.
Go.
Of course I do, if promise that I will not be interrupted.
Have your say, go ahead.
This was a whole litany of lies, of course. Israel has been repeatedly attacked. Until 1947, there has not been a single displacement. And if the Arabs would not have attacked the Jewish state, which the United Nations supported, there would have never been war and never have been displacement of both Jews and Arabs. And Israel did the thing of absorbing Jews and the Arabs.
Who attacked? Israel attacked.
Let her finish.
You are telling lies now. You can't mislead people forever. It's impossible.
Well, then let her finish her statement, and then let her finish her statement, and then respond to what you say. Are these lies?
We are seeing now the nature.
I will have if I have the right to respond, yes, with pleasure.
We are seeing exactly the nature of the so-called nonviolent struggle of the other side. It is based on lies intended to smear Israel. It is a complete reversal of cause and effect. It is, whether it is in the wars, it is Israel who has defended itself. It has defended the right of the Jewish people to self-determination in their ancient homeland. The Jewish people are indigenous to the land. It is their home. The Arab world continues to reject it. This is why we have no security, because for the Arab world, the day we are weak is the day they will annihilate us, and we know that. So we need to defend ourselves. We need to make sure that when there is peace, it is built on true recognition that the Jewish people are there at home by right, and that both peoples have the right to be there. And in order to achieve peace, we need to divide the land between a Jewish state, Israel, and an Arab state, Palestine. But we will not have peace if the Arab world continues to demand that Israel become Palestine as well, that Israel become an Arab state, that the Jewish people become a minority among Arabs in an Arab world that is becoming intolerant, genocidal. Christians are fleeing the Middle East. Jews are next. The only thing that is keeping us alive today is our strength and our military. And we are merely responding to Arab aggression, nothing less.
Unfortunately, we have to end it there, but I appreciate both of your comments. Mustafa Barghouti, General Secretary of the Palestine National Initiative.
No, sir, you can't
Einat
end it
Wilf.
there because you did not give me the time to respond. This is unacceptable.
I appreciate
it's not
that, but
acceptable because this is unequitable discussion. No, you have to give me the chance to speak because you are not giving us enough time. Give me a chance for at least 1 minute.
Okay, I understand that we have some more time.
No, you are not.
I understand that we have some. Okay, we have some more time allotted. Go ahead, Mr. Barghouti.
Thank you. First of all, I think you cannot speak about Jewish right to the land without accepting the fact that Palestinians lived here since 4,000 years. You cannot say that you want two-state solution without accepting to give Palestinians the right for a statehood. The resolution in the Security Council is about that. And Palestinians have accepted a very painful compromise. They have accepted to have a state in 22% of the land, while the United Nations itself decided they should have had 44%. Yet this is not enough for Israel. If Israel accepts two-state solution, then why they are objecting the Security Council resolution? Why they have not allowed us to have our state? Why they continue to occupy our land? You cannot keep claiming that Israel is a victim in this conflict when Israel has the 4th largest military army in the world, has nuclear heads. Israel is becoming a ghetto. You are creating a ghetto of yourself and putting us in Pantostans. This is not the way to peace. If you keep seeing everybody as an enemy, you will never achieve peace. In my opinion, the best way to achieve coexistence is by Israel's acceptance that they should end the occupation and end the system of apartheid and end the system of discrimination. And you cannot win a debate by cursing people and claiming they are telling lies. This is incorrect, and it will not lead to the right approach. What we demand is justice and freedom, like everybody else.
All right, we could go on for the rest of the hour with this. I really wish we could, but unfortunately we do have to end it there. I think a lot of views have been expressed today, and that is at least a start. Mustafa Barghouti, General Secretary of the Palestine National Initiative, Dr. Einat Wilf, Israeli politician, member of the Knesset for the Independence and Labor Party. Thank you both for your time.